Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the AM. Welcome back to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and welcome to the show predicated on the journey of life and business. Hey guys, real quick, would y'all partner with me and leave a rating and a review for the show if it's actually been of any value to you and helps you? I really appreciate it. And guys, thank you for tuning in, and I hope this adds to y'all's lives. That's simply the goal. Well, I actually want to talk today about measuring yourself, and it's so important to stop and measure yourself. And I'm not talking about like in a critical type self-hatred way, but I'm talking about really measuring yourself in an objective way, because it is very important to know where you are at in your journey. And I'm going to say this, there is no universal winning or universal rules to measure success in business or to measure success in personal life or in many areas of life. There's not just this universal set of rules that makes it a very succinct, simple way to win. For instance, like test taking. Test taking has universal rules that everybody in the classroom takes, and then everybody's graded equally according to how many right or wrong answers they got. That's really not how the majority of life works. Simon Sinek said this. He has a question about how do you be married? And if you've never listened to his podcast, or I guess it's not a podcast, it's his speaking gig, where he talked about infinite and finite game, I'd encourage you to listen to it. It's really good. But he asked, how do you measure being married? And the answer is, there are no universal rules for how to be married and how you measure winning at marriage. And it's a great example of how you're in charge of looking at yourself and measuring yourself, and the three things that you need to do to craft in your life professionally, if you're running a business, for relationships, and you as a person are, you need to craft the starting line. You need to define what it looks like for today and where you're at if you are just beginning on a certain journey. Then you need to talk about measuring the journey. How am I going to measure forward momentum? How do I know that I'm moving forward to become the man or the woman that I want to be? How do I know that I'm moving forward to achieving my goals? How do I know that I'm moving forward to being the person I promised myself I would be? And then the third thing you need to craft, and the third thing that you've got to define, is the finish line. And you've got to actually define what it means to win, right? So I've talked a lot about how I'm on the Get Unfat program. Right? My journey is, hey, let's get unfat. Well, how do I measure that? How do I measure every day to make sure I'm actually moving forward? Well, I count calories, right? I have a log, and then it tells me how many days in a row that I've logged calories, right? And so I can see, oh, I didn't measure today to see if I was on the journey. I have a checklist to where I'm stretching, I'm exercising. Did I do what I was supposed to do today? Okay, cool. I can see if I'm moving forward. I have a starting line. Where did I start at? What was my weight? What was I doing before? What was I eating like? Those things are just simply documented. And this really needs to be done. And then I'll talk about the finish line. And my finish line, this is what my weight needs to be around. My weight needs to be around 215 pounds somewhere, give or take, right? I'm a bigger guy, so my weight's going to be, it's not going to look like my business partner, Andrew, who's, healthy weight's around 160, 170 pounds. I think that's right. Andrew, if you're listening to this and that's not, I'm sorry if I called you fat or skinny. Anyways, the point of that is this: you've got to do this for all areas of your life. How do you know that you're moving forward with money? How do you know that you're moving forward in self-improving as a person in business, right? How are you looking at these things? And it's not just as simple as a checklist and like, oh, I've got this list of to-dos I've got to accomplish. Life doesn't work that way. Life is very multifaceted. So you have to think more than just the immediate one step deep. You've got to go further than that. And every time that I have not gone further than that, it breaks. And every time that I've talked to somebody who's not gone further than one step, it seems to break. And so when you're looking at yourself, you've really got to measure. You've got to look, right? Like you can look and be like, wow, what are the things and the habits and the personalities that people have who have healthy relationships and healthy marriages? What do they do? What do they look like? And then you can really examine yourself and look at yourself and be like, do I do those things? What makes a great leader? What brings loyalty and produces healthy culture within a team? What are those aspects and what are those areas? And then you can begin crafting the starting line, the journey, and then the finish line. And so this is something, if you're in leadership in business or if you're an entrepreneur, this is something you must do in order to measure yourself and self-assess. Because if you, again, I just did the previous episode, talked about this yesterday, that if you're not looking, it doesn't exist. And that's so true. And this helps you look. Anyways, guys, I'm out of time, so I'll catch you later. Peace.